And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to WrestlePurists Worldwide. I'm your host, Ibu of WrestlePurists, better known to many of you guys as Backup Hangman. And I'm joined as usual by Anna and Monty for another lovely Monday evening of wrestling conversation. Apologize for the lateness, folks. We had a bit of technical difficulties, very frustrating technical difficulties, but we are here. We are live, short countdown today, and we're going to be talking about the weekend's action in wrestling. One of those shows where you guys definitely will steer the ship and ask us whatever you want to ask us. We'll talk about whatever you want us to talk about, and we'll get into everything. This will be a show where we talk about, like I said, the recent weekend stuff in wrestling, but also I have some news for you guys. I have some AEW news, some interesting AEW news, some very, very interesting AEW news, some that
No heads up.
no, Monty and Anna will be reacting to this news at the same time as you guys in the audience. So this will be funny. It may be met with a fist pump. It might be met with oh, really? So it'll be very funny. It'll be very funny to see. But got some AEW news for you. Might be contract based. Let's just leave it at that. Eye emoji. So some interesting AEW contract expiration news. So that's coming up. I got some other scoops for you, some other news and notes. Black SUVs as usual, surrounding my home to hand me things or to threaten me with things. And beyond that, also, folks, we have a major announcement. I have a major WrestlePurist announcement tonight that I'll be making at the end of the show. And it'll be something that you guys can look forward to, something that'll be, I think, pretty big time and pretty exciting. So you can stay tuned for that. We'll be talking about SmackDown and Collision, but the main event here, folks, is Maple Leaf Pro because a big time matchup.
Wait.
Listen, a big time matchup happened at Maple Leaf Pro. One that got a lot of people talking between two really commonly spoken about wrestlers on this show. Two wrestlers that get a lot of talk on the timeline. It was a big time singles match. Anna watched it and had a lot of things to say about it. It was the match that a lot of people were talking about on that Maple Leaf Pro show. And it was from that first night. It was the match that a lot of people were talking about. We're talking about Raj Desi versus Bully Ray. We will be covering, recapping, and reviewing Bully Ray versus the former
This
Jinder
guy's
Mahal
shameless,
tonight.
bro. Like,
So, folks, make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe if you haven't, and you know how we do it on Worldwide, man. We're having a good time. So, guys, make sure to send us super chats, man. We'll answer whatever you want to ask us. I've been working the phones for you guys. So, feel free to fire away, ask us your questions, give us your opinions, give us your takes on what's going to happen tonight with Monday Night Raw, Braun Breaker versus Jey Uso for the Intercontinental Championship. And with that, Anna, how are you doing today?
I would have been better if I didn't have to watch Bully Ray versus Raj Desi. That really shook my love for wrestling for a while there, Ibu was holding the guns against our head, forcing us to watch it. And guys, like I have a very limited amount of time to watch wrestling nowadays. Like I'm a very busy person. But yeah, that was the one match. I mean, one of the only matches that I made time to watch today. So this the things that I do for you guys. But yeah, I'm good. I'm glad to be here. Thank you guys for watching.
I'm happy you're here as well, Anna. And again, I am aware of your very limited schedule. And I always know every week I'm like, Anna probably has time to watch maybe 2-3 matches. I got to give her the good ones, the ones she really needs to catch before the podcast. And I made sure, I said, Anna, throw everything aside, set aside some time, and you got to watch this. You need to see this. And I'm excited and I'm ready to get into it. Monty, how are you doing today, sir?
Went into this podcast kind of blind. We didn't have time to kind of like talk to Ibu about what we're going to talk about on the show. As you guys could tell, Ibu just kind of surprised me that he's got some scoops. I have no idea what they're going to be. I didn't know what direction the show is going to be, and he's telling me that major Maple Leaf Pro is the main topic of the day. And I just don't know what happened to this territory, bro. I don't know what happened. But more importantly, I'm actually kind of I'm in two minds at the moment. I'm trying to decide if I should treat myself to a can of Coke. So live chat, tell me if I deserve a can of Coke or not, because that's where I'm at the moment. That's my current mind state.
You should. You also had to watch the match. I think you deserve it.
Listen, I'm locked in, and so is the audience. This I just to kind of pull the curtain back. I'm now on the StreamYard app, which is really janky. I didn't hear a single thing Monty said, but I'm sure he was just kind of moaning about Maple Leaf Pro, which is fine. I'm going to switch.
Fair.
I'm going to switch to my laptop. See,
Now?
I do my morning.
Bro, this is
I'm
what
gonna
I'm
switch
saying. This is the professionalism we deal with, bro. Like,
What do you want? What do you want from me?
bro, you got a week.
We always-
This guy has what two or three weekly podcasts. Yeah, he tries to do it all from his phone, bro. Like walking
Yes.
around the house, doing the dishes, rolling joints. Like this is what this guy's on, bro. Like he's not serious. Like trying to
We always
do
have
whole
to
podcast.
and wait
He's
like
hosting.
20 minutes for Ibu.
He's hosting the show, and he's trying to do it from his phone, bro. What are we doing? Like,
No, and I want you guys to know, right?
What do you want from me?
Hey, the podcast we say like, oh,
I'm
it's
sure-
gonna
I'm
start
sure you-
midnight,
I'm sure
midnight
you-
5. Ibu, before
I
before
can't hear
that
anything
time, like 10
anybody's
minutes.
saying.
Yeah, okay. Before that time, like 10 minutes before, Monty and I, we're always here. We're also waiting half an hour, like you guys, for Ibu.
yeah, we're just there reading the chat, just kind of like, yeah, they're getting mad at us. You know, people start guessing the exact minute we're gonna go like live, and you know, so you got people like 24 minutes past, 17 minutes past, and you know, it's tough. It's tough. This is what Ibu puts us through, though.
It is what it is. Listen, man, I'm a very busy man. I'm gonna switch right now because I can't hear you guys, and we're gonna get right into this thing.
What is this sound?
Ibu, you got remove. Yeah, there we go. Sorry about that, people. Ibu needed to remove his second device to stop that sound.
You guys.
Oh my god, great audio this is, people. So yeah, as Ibu does that, let's should we start some super chats? Let's start. You know what? Let's start a super chat. Let's just throw one on the screen because this one is kind of like a little bit of a throwback one, kind of, I guess. Sapito 1999, appreciate it as always, brother. Hi, WrestlePurists. Was broke during the 100th episode, but wanted to give a congrats donation. Joined the WrestlePurists universe after a Ibu space when Cody left AEW and dropped all other pods since. Y'all are for real cool people and add a lot to wrestling. Appreciate you very much, brother. Ibu spaces, I think like summer 2022. You know, it's kind of where a lot of us started like socializing with each other, and you know, that led into the podcast and stuff like that. So you've been along for a lot of the journey, it sounds like, brother. And dropping all of the podcasts since coming across WrestlePurists, that's a commitment, you know. WrestlePurists gang will don't bang, as someone would say. But yeah, we appreciate you, man. It's been
thank you so much.
It's been a journey. Hopefully, Ibu comes back. You know, but
that would be nice. But yeah, those spaces were very special, you know, for the people who were there. It was the time, because before that I was just, you know, like a Brazilian girl tweeting in Portuguese, doing podcasts in Portuguese about wrestling, which like maybe 50 people would listen to, and then Ibu one day just like say, hey, like hop on the space. I barely knew it, like I didn't know anyone, so, and I was so like insecure with my English and stuff, so this whole process helped me a lot, like personally as well, and I'm really glad that we are able to be doing this like 2 years later, and hopefully for another I don't know how many years. So
Ibu does that a lot, you know. He kind of throws people into the deep end with his spaces. What he used to, you know, less so now. He hasn't got the patience, you know. He's an old man, and you know, if you're not already kind of like in his little circle of people on the spaces, he might do sometimes some guest callers, you know. I think he did that on one of the recent ones after the Jimmy Jacobs departure from AEW. And that ended up getting aggregated as like WrestlePurists. Like some guy went on there and was like, Jimmy Jacobs is Vince McMahon or something like that. And one of the Reddit aggregators was like, well, WrestlePurists said Jimmy Jacobs was like Vince McMahon. We were like, wait, hold on. That isn't true. Ibu, are you alive? What is going on?
Can you hear us?
Fuck, man. This fucking nigga, bro. I can't do this shit, man.
Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
I'm here.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you guys.
Okay, thanks, Bob.
I'm here.
All right. We started the super chats, bro.
I was about to throw my laptop across the room, but I'm here. We should be good for the rest of the show. I will try not to crash out. And I saw the Sapito super chat. I appreciate that, Sapito. I hope my audio is okay. I hope I don't sound crazy.
It's good. It's
Awesome.
good.
Okay, we're here now. Folks, welcome to WrestlePurists Worldwide. This is the first time I've heard Monty in 10 minutes. That's great. Anna, I started this show and I'm like, Monty, how you doing? You're like, yep. I'm like, cool, awesome. This is a great podcast. This is good audio. So, folks, if you didn't, I don't know if did the people hear me at the beginning of this thing?
Yes.
Cool. All right, great. All right, we're back in business. Sapito, appreciate the super chat. Thank you for the support. Appreciate the $20, sir.
All right, let's keep it moving.
I'll make up for it with the scoops, you know.
$13.99 Canadian from Ryan. Appreciate you, brother. Do you think Darby is the guy to win against Mox?
Yes.
Shouldn't it be their top guys like a Will Ospreay or Swerve Strickland or a reluctant MJF to quote save AEW? Instead, they are all busy and not avenging Danielson.
There are people within the company that have expressed these opinions, and those opinions have circulated. Darby Allin is going to beat John Moxley, but whether the other names you mentioned should get involved or not has, like I said, those are opinions that have been expressed internally. So that's something to monitor.
I think they kind of should, like. Darby, as for obviously, like you've already said, Darby does seem to be the man, and I think he'll be the right man to beat Mox, because if it's as the super chat mentioned, if it's Will Ospreay or Swerve, Swerve doesn't really need that level of elevation right now. After the kind of the year he's had, he's doing just fine in that sense. Whereas Darby could really push him onto that level with Darby or Will. As far as like other people being involved with it, I think I've already said it on Twitter and I've said it a few times, but I think the more this Mox stuff like consumes the shows, the better. Genuinely, it feels alive. It's just better. The more people you can logically drag into the universe. I'm not saying Swerve should just drop the upcoming Bobby Lashley feud and just be like, oh, Danielson, like, you know, do his business, but somehow get dragged into it, you know. Even if it's just not to be like the main character, like he should be on kind of like, you know, the AEW babyface's side, you know, and there should be kind of like that line drawn in the sand, I think, in the promotion. Because that's what Moxley's trying to do, bro. He's trying to take over the promotion. You know, he's not trying to just take over the BCC and fuck Danielson off. He's trying to take control and run riot in AEW as a whole. So people like Swerve, Ospreay, they should have an issue with that, you know. And especially now, like I said a couple of weeks ago, like this is different to like the EVP stuff, because you haven't got to worry about them like being involved in this universe of like shtick and all that silliness, you know. Like this is proper like grounded in that sense, you know. So from it, get him involved, man.
Yeah, for me personally, like I do understand, and know it makes sense for them to get involved in everything, but I do feel like the storyline is about like elevating the newer talents for them to get to the point where they are like those main event talents, you know. And also all the people who are involved in the babyface side, for now at least, those are the people that have been with AEW basically since day one or close to day one, you know, like your Garcias, your Darbys, like the Private Party, like they've been there from an early time. They weren't people that had careers from another place and then they went to AEW, you know. So AEW, it makes sense for them to be fighting for the soul of AEW because they are the soul of AEW basically. While Swerve and Ospreay, of course, they went to AEW. They got like elevated in there, but at Ospreay, I mean, I don't know, but still, they had other places, other experiences. It's not something that for them is like super necessary. I wouldn't mind them not getting involved. I think eventually makes sense to like mentioning maybe they like a backstage segment of them supporting the baby faces and be like, yeah, you guys got it, you know. Like you do with your business, I'll do with mine, but you got to like I'm on your side, whatever you needed. But I don't think they actively need to get involved with this situation. I think it's nicer to see the younger baby faces and the people that they really want to push and elevate because I feel like it works. I think Darby's I was I wasn't fully 100% on the side of Darby being world champion, but with this storyline, I'm like, oh yeah, Like this makes
Locked
sense, you know.
in.
By the end of the storyline, yeah, he's gonna be the guy, and that adds up and that makes sense to me. And MJF, I don't think he's a heel. I don't think he should be involved
Yeah,
with this.
if anything, MJ should try and like suck up to Moxley and fucking get home or something. Like if
has his
anything, you
own
know.
deal. Like he's busy in his homoerotic breakup situation with Adam Cole. It's fine, you know. Like, but I do think Darby's definitely the guy in this situation.
Yeah, Darby, I think absolutely has to come out like the main, you know, protagonist of this. And like you said, and as long as like, I think even if they just like acknowledge it, you know, like a backstage thing showing support for a Darby or something, like the top baby faces. But yeah, even if they just acknowledge it.
Here's the thing. I agree with what you guys are saying, but at the same time, if this is a broad overarching conflict within the promotion, it has to affect the whole promotion, at least indirectly. And so I'm not saying that Swerve has to run out there and form a front line with all the baby faces along with Will Ospreay and the other wrestlers. But I think that everybody's storyline should have some type of it should be dealing with an aftershock of what Moxley is doing. It's why I like what happened with Garcia, because Daniel Garcia is feuding with Jack Perry, and Private Party is feuding with the Young Bucks. But at the same time, in those segments, Daniel Garcia is telling the Elite, like, are you guys going to do something about what the fuck these guys are doing, you know, regarding the John stuff? And that's how you kind of sell that this is impacting the show. Otherwise, it exists in a vacuum and it's just any other wrestling storyline. And if it's just any other wrestling storyline, then it shouldn't be happening. So
it makes sense for the Elite because they're the EVPs, you
right,
know.
right,
so
right.
like for me, it makes more sense for them to be a part of it than for Swerve or Ospreay. Because also, like Mox Group, I know we want the idea that it's an overarching thing, but it's just like 5 people, you know. Like if you had 5 people against like 20 people, it doesn't really make sense. So there's also some limits to that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like I said, it needs to, you know, these guys should feel a way about it, you know. Even if they're not fully like locked in, challenging Moxley for the title, you know. But yeah, I agree with you, Bill.
Mentioned, I think
okay.
It's a balance they need to figure out for sure.
Yeah.
100%. Shout out Spurs, $10. Appreciate you as always. Enjoyed the BCC angles on Dynamite, but thought it was even stronger on Collision Battle of the Belts. Turns out, if you're going to do a company takeover angle, you'll probably need to appear on Saturdays.
Well, because here's the thing.
In Elite.
John Moxley's targeting the losers in this company. If you're looking for losers, just show up on Collision or Rampage, and they're all over the place. You know, so of course, that's just kind of fine. Like, just you know, do what you got to do over there.
I do kind of the stuff on Saturday with Collision and Battle of the Belts, it did feel really alive. Like I said, like even though it was involving, like, you know, like, unfortunately, Top Flight also fall into this category these days. But you know, even though it was jobbers, basically, you know, like Dark Order and Top Flight just getting the shit kicked out of them, and Mox like talking in the middle of it and doing like the kind of angle in the middle where he gives Dark Order the chance, but they've got to have it right now, and it's just like it just felt alive, bro. It seemed like unplanned. Obviously, it went leaked from one show into the other. It was just really well done, man. Mox is so locked in at the moment, and all the angles are hitting, man, and hopefully it does turn into something that can, you know, improve the momentum in a couple of months' time. We won't know for a few months. Like I've seen a few people already be like, after the Dynamite rating wasn't this huge rating or anything, people are like, oh, this Moxie angle's not working. It's like, bro, they've only just like started doing it. Like, it's like, how can you say it's not working yet? You know?
Yeah, for sure. Why are people in the chat saying I sound different? I was just
your sound's a bit. It's honestly, it's a little bit crisper, and it sounds like you're speaking like more mellow. Like
really,
yeah.
I'm not. Yeah, I haven't changed anything about how I'm talking, but people are saying I sound like totally. Someone said, "Is this what Ibu sounds like?" I haven't changed at all. So that's.
I think it just sounds like clearer.
Yeah, because I'd imagine like the phone version is like when you're listening to the radio and someone just sounds like fuzzy and loud, you know. So thank you, Chi-Town.
All right. Yeah, appreciate you, Chi-Town, as always, brother. Okay. Darren Walker, $5. Appreciate it as always. Did anyone see the Piers Morgan uncensored special, especially with Phil Mushnick versus Vince Russo clip? Don't call me bro.
What,
bro?
that almost felt staged. Like,
bro, it was. What do you mean? Did you not see the way they introduced Mushnick?
Yeah, like he comes, Mushnick comes in
surprise running.
Yeah, and then he's just like, "You're a liar. You're a
bro."
fraud."
The way Piers Morgan's like, he's building it up like a fucking wrestling promo, and you just got like Jonathan fucking Coachman, Charlie Caruso, Vince Russo, just some nasty characters, you know, and just like, and they're talking about, and then Piers Morgan's like, from the New York Times, Phil Mushnick, and they're all just like, oh, brother, like,
I talked to you, bro. You always lied about me. And he's like, don't call me bro. And the thing is, Mushnick's, I'm pretty sure he's a New Yorker too. So they both have New York accents. So it's just like, there was a pedophile ring in the WWF. And he's just like, don't call me bro. And they're just going back and forth. And I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Insane.
Jonathan Coachman is like stepping in like, hey, hold on. You mentioned my daughter there. All right, pal. And I'm like, this is so dumb. Yeah, very, very embarrassing scenes.
Muchnick's like going after the Coachman's like complicit with all these horrible things. Coachman's like, you don't know me.
It's
insanity.
I don't know whose idea that was.
Yeah, I didn't watch the whole thing. I just saw like multiple clips, you know. So I've seen like the clips that you've probably seen, Darren, and a few of them that are deliberately searched for. So £5 again from Darren, appreciate it. We are all seated for Anna's review of Bully Ray versus the former Jinder Mahal. I expect a 5-page dossier and notes from Anna too.
I'll say this up front, folks. Listen, we're not here to talk about good wrestling. You see good wrestling every week. You know, you see super kicks and 450s and apron moves and Blue Thunder bombs and Death Valley drivers every day. Everybody can go now. Everybody can have back and forth matches that after 20 minutes get this is awesome chance. Everybody does topes. But when do you really get that really just outwardly piece of shit piece of wrestling now? You know, AEW, when it's bad, it's more just kind of like boring.
Boring,
you know?
Yeah.
And same with Triple H's shows. Like Triple H bad is just fucking like dull. Like nothing
interesting. Yeah.
It's not interesting. Nothing like fucking sucks anymore. You know, like when this was a real business, you had 5 4.5-star matches a year. You had TV angles, you know. You know, you had some fun TV angles, and some shit really fucking sucked, and then some shit was good. We needed this. As the guy who grew up on TNA, you know, Vince Russo booked TNA, we needed this piece of shit that we got on Saturday. And folks, I'm telling you, I made Anna watch it because we're gonna fucking talk about it.
Yeah.
Business needs it.
That was something. I feel like I haven't watched a match that was generally like that ass in such a long time. I do not remember a match that I have watched that I finished and think like, what was this? This is not wrestling. Like what just happened in front of me? That was we're gonna talk about it, like the angle before and then the middle and then afterwards and everything is just going wrong. You guys like, okay, do you remember Ric Flair, like his last match?
Oh, that was
he pretended to have a heart attack in the middle of the ring. Like you remember that?
I think he died for real, actually, Anna.
He's still alive, Ibu, so he didn't die. But
his heart doctor told him like
his heart
doctor told him like 8 months after that, like judging from like his records and stuff and his heart rate and stuff, so he's had a heart attack. He had a heart attack during that match, you know. So.
He was on this podcast and he was like, "You know, I died." And they're like, he's like, huh? He's like, yeah, you know. Like, yeah, I like died, and like I just like woke up. That's why Andrade slapped his head and was like, oh shit, and just kind of dragged him to the corner of the anyway.
Bro, that probably I'll never forget watching that live. That shit was terrifying, but kind of awesome at the same time. Like Ric Flair's like Ric Flair at this point, because obviously, like I said, it's live. We don't know. Like at this point, Ric Flair may be dead in the middle of the ring, and Andrade's like trying to put these brass knucks on him, and Ric's hand is like this. Andrade's like trying to get these knucks. Bro, that shit was crazy.
Yeah, and then what I was gonna say that Ric Flair in that match still wrestled more than Bully Ray in this match.
Oh my god!
And he's like 80 years old. Bully Ray is 50. You know who's also like, Bryan Danielson is almost 50. I don't know, like, my god. Sting was 60 doing crazy shit, and then Bully Ray, he does that, and he has the nerve to go on his podcast and talk shit about wrestling.
Yo,
like, I'm sorry.
I was telling my friends that midway through this bullshit, I was like, he's gonna go on his radio show the next day and go on a long dissertation about like what he did was fucking brilliant. He's gonna go on his show and be like, I just showed everybody how to get heat. How to get heat. No, I'm telling you right now, there wasn't that much heat, bro. Like, it was not. It wasn't. Bro, he's doing this shit for 20 minutes, and people are kind of like, yeah, bro, boo. We said boo. Like, fuck. And he's fucking like we said boo.
Right. We're gonna get to Maple Leaf. Got some things to say. So Peter, $4.99. Always wanted to ask, since I've seen y'all grow, how you view consumer wrestling changed since y'all have gotten more tapped in with the industry?
Who wants to take this one? I have a funny answer to this.
Same.
How's it changed? It hasn't actually changed that much, to be honest, in the way that I consume it. Honestly, I don't think it's changed that much. I can't think of a good answer to give.
I'll say this. It hasn't affected me much at all, except now when I just want something booked. There's something I strongly want. You know what I do? I don't express it to people within these companies because they don't actually listen to that. You got to tweet it and get people to respond to the tweet.
Start discourse.
Yeah. And I've realized, unfortunately, I have a gift and a curse in my hand. I have this special ability to unintentionally start discourse. And so if I want, this is not a real thing, but let's say hypothetically, I wanted Carlito to win the Intercontinental Championship, which I would never ask for, ever. But if I wanted to do that, I wouldn't go, hey, WWE creative guy, you should book Carlito to win the... No, what I would do is say, I just feel like WWE just isn't properly respecting Carlito right now. And I feel like he's historically been underrated, and his portrayal right now has been very unfair. He's the type of wrestler that would, in theory, win the IC title. And I think that's something we should all get. And then I turn around and have like 400 quotes. And then Hunter would be shown this by a writer, like, hey, and then they would just shove a phone in his face and he'd be like, oh shit, that's crazy. And then boom. So that's the only difference.
So it does.
Yeah, so for me, I don't know if mine is like a little bit mean, but something that definitely changed for me is that before, especially when I started watching wrestling, you see those wrestlers in the ring and you think like, oh my god, these people are so cool, and like, it must be like so cool like to work with them and stuff. And then the more you get to know like inside the industry and the people, you kind of just realize like a lot of the people, they're just, first of all, they're just like normal people.
Yes.
Some of them are straight up just like shit people. Yes. And also a lot of them are just like losers, so yes. no offense, but like a lot of the people, they're just like normal human beings. Like you really take them off of like that pedestal. So now the one thing is that I can't watch wrestling anymore unless there's like fucking like Kenny Omega, Bryan Danielson, Roman, like those guys are really another level. But nowadays when I watch it, I'm like, yeah, I don't see them anymore as like those larger than life figures. I just see them like, yeah, this guy's probably like a weirdo or a loser, kind of like just chill. Yes. I think they're just normal people. You know what I mean? I think that definitely helped. I definitely don't mark out anymore for any wrestler unless like I really like their matches. I mark out for the matches and for how they're presenting themselves, their storylines. But for wrestlers themselves, I'm just very like, okay, yeah, they're people. You cannot impress me. If a wrestler DMs me, I'm not gonna be impressed because you're a wrestler. I'm not gonna like, oh my god, you're a wrestler. I'm sure I'm not gonna do that because they're just normal people. So
yeah,
that definitely changed my perception a bit.
Yeah.
So some of them are very cool as well, guys. Just, no, I'm not calling them all losers. I feel really bad. I'm just saying, like, some of them are very nice.
Most of them are nerds, to be honest.
Yeah.
With you, but it is what it is.
Yeah, very
So,
chill people.
$4.99. Ibu, is WWE in your eyes the Harvey Weinstein of this great sport? Jesus. Scoops on how Punk and Kevin Owens feel about each other currently.
This is a troll super chat, which I do respect. I respect high-end trolling, you know what I mean? And Zoe's kind of a beast. That's a riff on Tony Khan's statement on I believe it was NFL Network. Is WWE the Harvey Weinstein of this great sport? I don't know. I'm not there. Vince McMahon probably is, or definitely is. But as for the rest of the organization, that's for the people involved to say. How Scoops on how Punk and KO feel about each other currently? I plead the fifth.
Push $5. When Cody is laying on the ground while Bruce Buffer is announcing the new WWE champion. Oh my chills. Can Gunther versus Cody beat out Drew versus Punk for WWE match of the year? I mean, he can. I think its ceiling potentially could get right up there, but will he? I don't know. You know.
Can Gunther Cody beat Punk and Drew? No, that's not happening. That's not happening.
I think, yeah.
It'll be one of the best WWE matches this year, though.
I think it's gonna be a really good match, but because of the way that is happening, you know, like it's happening in the Saudi Arabia show, and there's the construction is just like so weird for the weirdest title that no one cares about. So that counts, you know. Like I think they can do amazing in-ring work, but because the emotion and the things are not there, like it was with the Punk Drew match, we'll see. But I think it's definitely in-ring. Like it's gonna be amazing.
See, I just think that I'll never write off the ceiling of Gunther versus a babyface that people actually like.
Sure,
you know?
Sure. That's what's great formula.
It's gonna be amazing. Like
I will say this: Cody did an admirable job on SmackDown. This dude, he moved heaven and earth verbally to try to get this thing over. Like he
tried.
Like, yeah, I was gonna say it's like
I was gonna say you said he did a hell of a job. I mean, he tried to.
Well, here's the thing, because it's like this is a filler bullshit championship they're fighting for. Why should anyone care? And this guy Cody's talking about, what if Bruno faced, you know, what if Bruno faced, like, what do you say, Bruno versus Bockwinkel or Flair versus this guy, and what if the AWA collided with the NWA? Like he framed it like you never got this in prior generations of wrestling. You never got to see the AWA champion face the WWF champion. You never got to see Stone Cold versus Bill Goldberg. You never got to see this guy versus that guy. And he even pointed out, like, back in the 80s when you got it. Yeah, he said in the 80s, these dream matches never had a finish, basically. That's basically what he said. And he was like, folks, this one's going to have a finish. So he really tried to make you feel like this Gunther match you're going to get is something you would never get anytime else. So you got to tune in the Crown Jewel to watch he face Gunther for the Mohammed bin Salman Championship. So listen, man, fair play. And I'll be excited to see the match for sure. And I think it'll be great.
Dev to Dust $5. This question is for Ibu. Do you notice that Paul Pierce kind of resembles a Black Miz?
No. Paul Pierce is a really, really, really bad TV analyst.
Fair. Mike Stevens $4.99. Now that Roman is a face, do you think we could get Roman versus Gunther?
I don't think that match ever happens.
Neither do I. I'd love it too.
Yeah, and Roman doesn't like getting chopped, and he also doesn't like wrestling people that aren't in the stage of the game.
I think Roman knows the people he's going to wrestle before he, like, I wouldn't say retire, but like dramatically steps back. I think Roman's like got it already mapped out in his head. I don't think Gunther's on that list.
He told people at Mania 40 that his last step is to get Jacob Fatu over as the main eventer, and he's done with wrestling.
But there you go. That's what I mean. It's like, obviously he's going to wrestle solo, whether we complain about it or not. But they're going to get that out of the way. He'll probably wrestle Cody again. He might wrestle Rock again. He might wrestle Rock one day.
I think he will wrestle.
He'll do like a big program with like Jacob in it. And in terms of like big singles matches, you know, I don't like even Punk, bro. Like Gunther, Punk, any of these people. Like,
the live chat is killing me. They're all like, "Fuck off." Usually when Roman plays the political game, the live chat is like, "Oh, what a beast!"
Yeah, but this is Gunther, bro. This is
Thunder, so
grown up.
like,
This is grown up. This is
so people are like, "Man, what a pussy." Like, what a.
He doesn't want the real heat, you know. Like he
Yeah.
saw how the people's chests look after the chops, and he's like, "Ah, no."
Could you imagine Heyman being like, "What do you think
Fake
about
demon.
Gunther?" And he's like, the nigga that does the chops." It's like, no.
This guy's gonna be talking about bringing back his chest plate again.
No. Could you imagine him wearing the chest protector again? It's like, all right, let's do this.
This guy. SMG $5 appreciated. The New York Yankees, we're taking it all. Settle the score. No, we'll not take a loss. We're taking it all.
The New York fucking Yankees are going to the World Series for the first time since 2009. And Monty, I got to tell you, this is an exciting time for New York sports. Yankees, World Series 2009. New York Liberty in the WNBA last night just won the fucking championship for the first time in franchise history. New York stand the fuck up tomorrow. The New York Knicks are taking on the Celtics. We're going to bust those niggas up tomorrow. We're going to win the championship. Jalen Brunson will be the finals MVP, and we are back.
I'll believe you.
We're taking it all.
Sway, $5 appreciated. Samantha heard Ibu say announcers / commentators need to stop fake crying last week, and she decided to quit. Go to hell with Ibu.
Yeah, Samantha's not going to AEW, and I hate that this already got squashed because I had so many jokes to make tonight that I wanted to do, and I can't do any of them now because they fucking wanted to be boring and tell people they're not going, and it's like, whatever, you know. But
where's she going?
I don't know. She probably got some new big career opportunity. I just assumed that that Ricochet was on FaceTime, just you know. So.
He was looking at the locker room. He was like, "Please, baby, no, come back, come home."
Seriously, could you imagine her just the winner and new AEW champion?
All right, bro.
Not too much. Come on.
Yeah, you're gonna start.
I hope that whatever she does next, you know, it's good for her. I really like her, so.
So this is a different super chat from Sway, but basically says the same thing. But we appreciate you, brother. Isaac, $4.99, appreciate you. In terrible light of Trump on the Taker Pod, do you know who is liberal in wrestling, Bill?
So before I answer that, I'm going to just say this: anybody that put clips of that podcast on my timeline, go fuck yourself. Like I didn't need that, you know.
Well,
like,
there was nothing on it anyway. The most from a wrestling fan's fucking perspective, yeah, which obviously what this audience is just wrestling fans, not fucking politics or Trump fans, you know. It's like there was nothing in it except for Dwayne called me after I got shot.
Right.
That was the only thing. Like, that was it. You know.
Well,
is that your final boss?
In every clip I saw, Trump is just talking and Taker just makes like a grunt noise on the mic, like,
yeah.
I mean, yes, a lot of people are saying that. Yeah.
He put over Gunther to Trump, which was probably the only positive clip that kind of popped me, I guess.
Undertaker's gonna be in the PC in like a week or two, and those conversations are gonna be very funny. Just imagine all the NXT people were rushing to him, like, "How did he smell?" It's like
he's asking them all who they're voting for and shit. Like, you know?
No, he doesn't need to ask that in Florida and NXT.
He knows.
Yeah,
there's a couple liberals down there, man. You know.
No. To answer
if you are a liberal and you go to NXT, like you immediately.
This is the thing, bro. Like, I see all these people. Like, of course, like not all wrestlers need to go to like the fucking Taker levels of it and fucking have him on your podcast like Trump and stuff. But so many wrestling fans that you see on Twitter get so mad at you know, like certain wrestlers being like publicly right wing, you know, and it's like, bro. So many wrestlers are right wing that you can't even play that game with wrestling.
Yeah,
if he's a Republican, I don't like. It's like, bro, you're not gonna like half the industry.
I was gonna say this. Someone asked, like, how does your view of wrestling change with being on the inside? I will say this: when I see those posts now, being privy to certain things, now I just look at those tweets and I'm like, man, I wish I was unaware, you know, like you guys. To answer you, who is liberal in wrestling? It's like 12 people. It's like 12 people.
Like Sammy.
Yeah, Sammy's he's a leftist, but yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys like him. A lot of the, you know. But here's the deal. there's a couple people that like would just totally like you're like what that they like they're Republicans. Like it's just like people that would just shock the shit. Like you know what I'm talking about, right? There's a couple. There's a couple.
It's funny because like the wrestlers talk about it like, yo,
Yeah, they just
man,
like, laugh.
You know, my man, yeah.
He's like, yeah,
you know, don't ask him about the border, and you're like, yo, what?
Yeah, and it's like, what? There's a couple. There you go, Anna. You got it right there. But it's crazy. It's I don't know how that happened. You know,
that is actually a good point that you brought. To be fair,
you know what?
In relation to like that question we was asked earlier.
Yeah. Because it is funny to know. I'll say this. Because this isn't, I'm not breaking news here, so it's more funny. Apparently, like in WWE catering, when people have political conversations, AJ Styles will just kind of like quietly like seep to the corner and like walk away.
Beast. What a beast. That's all I do.
That sounds like he has some violent things to say. And he's like, no. let me just walk, let me just get out of here and let me just
go have a smoke, you know.
Oh man.
Anyway, people. Isaac again, appreciate you for
Dominic loves Trump. Sorry, let's continue. Let's just continue. And go ahead.
He said he was just kidding on that question. If you can get waxed, but just wanted to send cash, appreciate you, brother. Hush $5. If Kevin Owens and Becky did re-sign, who do you think Tony's next big target is? Possibly Sammy? Vice versa, who do you think Regal is trying to poach?
If KO he did resign, I think Tony's done for now.
So do I.
I think he's done for now.
I think he kind of needs to be as well, whilst we're in this kind of, I guess you could kind of call it like transitional era, you know, of like trying to get all these day ones over with this big angle, making sure Takeshita's elevated appropriately, etc. The tag team division being brought back to life, like all these different things that are slowly starting to get in motion, you know. It's like this Bobby Lashley thing, you know. So yeah, like we were saying up until like obviously he hasn't even debuted yet, but obviously it's been reported that he signed, etc. But we've been talking about it, and it's like, okay, yeah, great, you signed Bobby Lashley and MVP because you just do, bro. They're too good not to fucking sign them. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like it wasn't the most ideal timing in terms of like weaving it into kind of like the bigger picture of the promotion, you know. But you just got to get him in, bro.
Someone in the live chat said, "Why won't Ibu give Dub MAGA names?" Shake my head. Listen, I'll do that on like a 4 a.m. space that like I'm gonna delete the second it's over. Catch me on a 4 a.m. on like a Wednesday.
And on the WWE thing side of things, it's just the waiting for the Lucha Bros, you know. Waiting.
Oh yeah.
We've got that long wait for the Lucha Bros. So.
Yeah, Penta's actually going to be free not that long from now, but we'll see what happens with his brother and if he waits for his brother.
Big Hero Chris, $5. Do they add more people to the Blackpool Combat Club, or is it cool as is? Also, can Mox buy Pac a white T-shirt?
There were plans.
No T-shirts for Pac.
There were plans for other members when this whole thing started. But a couple of those things have been rearranged and, if not outright, scrapped, partially because they were seen as this will be controversial. So let's not do that.
So no Shane McMahon.
Shane McMahon will not be a part of this BCC storyline. But there was another name that was floating around that was considered that they ended up not going with that for now. And then there was another thing. Don't aggregate this. Actually, no, people are going to, so fucking I won't even say it. I'm not bothering today. There's 500 people here. We're not doing it. But we'll see. Let's not even buy it. Yeah, you know, I saw 500 people here. I said, nah, fuck that. Cultaholic is watching. Let's just go to the next super chat.
And that's assault on $5. My husband Takeshita is a better champ than that fraud Billy Goat. Spiteful, but Takeshita is very good. Amari 316 V2 $5. Appreciate you. Even though I agree with Ibu on this specific point, can Ibu explain further on why WWE being good again is bad for the genre of pro wrestling?
Because promoters
a tweet you did earlier.
Yeah, I tweeted that WWE being good again is like really bad for wrestling. And right now the wider scene fucking it's like super lame. to me. The problem is that I just don't see any like burgeoning trends happening or like any disruption happening on an underground level that will like then dictate where the industry goes. You look at previous generations of wrestling, it's like you can always be pointed to what's next based on what's happening somewhere in the scene. And right now, there's like we're in a phase of stylistic homogenization. It's part of just like what happened. Like globalization has affected wrestling, and now we have access to wrestling all over the place. And now everybody does what everybody else is doing. And then you also have the issue where WWE, the market leader, the most successful companies now, like also like good and like their fan base is very happy. You start having these like promoters being fucking losers and they copy WWE when they should just be kind of like coming up with their own thing. I watched a bit of Rev Pro, which I probably shouldn't have done this weekend. I watched the Maple Leaf Pro stuff, and I also watched some of the New Japan show, and I also watched Collision and Battle of the Belts. And in a vacuum, all these shows had like really talented wrestlers having good matches. But when you watch it all, nothing separates itself from the pack, and it all just kind of blends in, and it just feels like there's no new ideas in wrestling, and that's really scary because you go to any other previous generation, and this is not to say this era is better than that era, but there's always like some new idea happening somewhere as recently as maybe 2019, 2020. And so what I say here is just that like if WWE is good and it's doing the things that made other places special, then what do those places now have? Because if WWE now has like this style and that style, and they also now can like look at CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, now they're doing blood. Oh shit, now they have a luchador. And again, I'm not even saying that like their approximation of certain styles or things are quite as good as some of these other places, but if they now have that as a part of their offering, as a tool in their holster, you then lower the need for people to go to these other places to seek those things. When WWE fucking sucked like 10 years ago, it was you would watch a Raw and want to detox by going, okay, let me watch PWG, let me watch Ring of Honor, let me watch New Japan, let me see what AAA is doing, or let me see what the British Indies got going on, you know. But it's like if you get what you needed from those places in one spot, it just hurts the competition. And so the bottom line is, whether it makes people happy or not happy or whatever, a thriving WWE isn't a rising tide. It's a rising tide for WWE itself. It's not a rising tide for the industry. So that's just kind of like what it is.
I agree with you like 85% in the sense of like oh, but I actually kind of agree with you 100% to be fair. But it's more so like
I'm not wrong.
when you just put it like, you know, I feel I'm kind of happy that this person super chatted you to give you the proper chance to expand on it, because it's like when you just say it as a sentence like WWE being good bad for the industry sort of thing, it's like
it sounds like
obviously that's so easy to misinterpret it and stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's just like when WWE is good, like you said, it's like it kind of takes away the need for certain things elsewhere in the industry. But it's like also it's like WWE doing blood and WWE actually putting on like watchable good matches and that on the regular basis shouldn't be like this dagger in the heart of the industry. So like the only thing for me is that just like these the indie scene, it's more kind of like WWE being great. It's more a symptom rather than the cause, because it's like at the end of the day, if like, you know, if we had like a young prime Paul Heyman on the indies right now, trying to actually like, you know, push, you know, toe the line, do edgy stuff, or even like a Gabe from back in the day with Ring of Honor and stuff like that. It's like all these indie promoters fucking stink, bro. Like,
like where's the vision from these people?
There ain't no one.
Nazi, from what happened to a promoter grabbing you by the collar and saying, "This is what we do. We do this." They can't do that now, because any promoter that says we do this, it's like, okay, yeah, you do that, and so does he, and him, and him, and him, and him, and him, and him, and every fucking where. Scott D'Amore, God bless him, respect him, you know, did a good job with TNA. Props to getting Maple Leaf off the ground. You know what I mean? It's good for wrestling that you have another place where guys can get paid and do their thing, right? But his big idea for Maple Leaf was basically TNA Canada flavored.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It's
anybody...
wildly frustrating.
Monty, do you know how ECW Hardcore TV was born? Paul Heyman got the inspiration for that show from the music video to Mama Said Knock You Out by LL Cool J. He didn't get it from watching WWF Raw when Doink the fucking Clown was wrestling Marty Jannetty. Anybody could copy that shit and approximate it. No, he watched a fucking hip-hop music video and said, man, this is shot really uniquely and really interestingly. What if I shot a pro wrestler like that? What if I shot him dead on with some music in the background and I played highlights and I edited it in this really avant-garde dynamic way? What if I then juxtaposed that with narration and then I did this and I did that, and then you start implementing grunge and this and that? That's vision. You evolve wrestling and you take it to the next level when you highlight underrepresented parts of fucking media or demographics. That's how you fucking move forward. There used to always be a trend or a wave somewhere, whether it was lucha libre, whether it was fucking the hardcore scene, so on and so forth. This happened until recently. The PWG party tags that you would get in the 2010s, the Bucks took that shit to AEW. They took the fucking party tags where you'd have all this frenetic, awesome, high-paced action. They would mix comedy, but also drama, and it was just so like that whole style. They brought that shit to AEW. The fucking epic New Japan main event style that was trickled in through the NXT takeovers in AEW. That was the last time we got a fucking trend from somewhere else and brought it over to the forefront. But now the problem is, Monty, everything is in the fucking forefront. And when you look at the background, there's nothing happening that's different or new. We're fucking cooked. It's over.
There's just nothing uninspired.
Stop talking to me about DPW. Stop tweeting me about DPW. It's over. Leave me alone.
Listen, as far as you know what, DPW has been brought up a lot in the chat. Like, well, what about DPW? And to be fair to DPW, they're doing their thing, and it is like a nice like indie promotion, but it's like, it's not as it's just not as loud, and it's not as
I don't want to make fun of anybody. I don't want to make fun of any wrestlers who work there. I was about to shout out some names. That would have been very mean and unnecessary.
I think with DPW, they're very much like the nicest guy in prison. You know, like it's that sort of thing. Like they are doing their thing, you know, and I like very much like you, but I don't want to like put anyone down because I do think they're doing their thing, especially like DPW as well. Like conceptually, is like I really respect and appreciate what they're doing because it's literally like if we started a wrestling promotion, you know. So it's like it's really cool in that aspect, and they actually do have like some good taste, and they do try to do some cool stuff, but it's still not quite like what me and Ibu were just talking about, and what Ibu was just like ranted about someone who's really like pushing the boat out to create their own image and their own like really inspired booking and really, you know, merging, you know, like current pop culture and wrestling and
here's the thing, and like I said, how do you do something different in wrestling? You have to approach it through an angle that it's not been approached through. And one part of wrestling that I still think isn't quite been tried out is how do you accurately and properly approach it through Gen Z hip hop, like the hip hop side of it. And I don't think anyone has quite figured out how to do that. And if you did, you would have gotten a wrestling that looks different than other wrestling. I thought that the indies in 2010, 2021 were on the precipice of figuring something different out. But before it could happen and before it could really come together to figure out what that was going to be, a lot of the people at the forefront that were really talented got signed. So it is what it is. You know, it's fine. I just, again, I was telling Joe Holbert, I said, the thing I'm looking the most forward to for the next couple of days is a Jey Uso Braun Breaker match. It shouldn't be that way. Monday Night Raw shouldn't be one of the better things in wrestling. That's when you know something is wrong and something's broken. It should not be that way. It's just incorrect. It's incorrect. It's not. You used to watch other wrestling to cleanse yourself after watching Raw. What's going on? It's backwards. I mean, and stop tweeting me about DPW.
Okay, I was just gonna say, you know, like, again, no disrespect to the wrestlers, but I feel like there's also a big shortage of like great wrestlers in the indie scene nowadays. You know, the indie scene used to be filled with like people, Kevin Owens was there was Sammy, Claudio, like before the Young Bucks were there for a long time. But now because of AEW and WWE getting better, a lot of people left already the indies in the middle of 2010s to go to WWE. But then when they created AEW, it's another alternative. So the really great wrestlers are either signed to one or the other now. So when you look to the indie scene, the people who are left are the people don't want to sign. And maybe they don't want to sign them for a reason, So it's kind of like
you got GCW.
There's still some really good wrestlers. You have like Speedball, and you do have wrestlers that are good. But when you see most of them, they are not the greatest. And we're used to seeing indies. We used to like open a random PWG show, and you would watch fucking Young Bucks versus Kevin Owens and Roderick Strong. I don't know. Like I'm just saying stuff like Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, like Kyle O'Reilly, Kenny Omega having a random match. You just open like Ricochet, like you just open those shows and you see like legit 5-star matches.
And I'm gonna
now that's just not the case anymore.
I'm gonna pull up a 2017 PWG card and just read the names, just like and then I'm gonna just cry on air, and then I'm gonna walk away from my screen.
No.
Let's
2014 PWG for me is just like so peak. I was obsessed with it.
Let's do it. Let's look up Battle of Los Angeles from 2014. Let's see here. Let's read this card, Anna. Let's look at these names. All right. Some of these names are a little nasty, and some of these people may be canceled, so bear with me. But we have Johnny Gargano versus Candice LeRae, TJP versus Ricochet, Trevor Lee versus Michael Elgin. Folks, this is an indie. Kenny Omega versus Matt Sydal, Roderick Strong versus AJ Styles, Kyle O'Reilly versus Zack Sabre Jr., Adam Cole and the Young Bucks versus ACH, Brian Myers, and Chris Sabin. I just
yeah.
Monty, can we just go to the next super chat? Let's just move on.
Lucky that I was muted because I just started ranting, realised I was muted, and then Benny B was like, let's just move on. And I was like, you know what? Ibu's right. Let's just move on.
Yeah. No, sir. Now I'm looking to the other cards of like other Battle of Los Angeles, and like fucking Will Ospreay and Zack Sabre Jr., Young Bucks and Lucha Bros in 2016 at Battle of Los Angeles. Like this was what they took away from
Josh Alexander went like 40 minutes last night with Konosuke Takeshita, and I don't know.
You didn't feel anything.
Okay, we can move on.
I don't know, man.
One and only for 99. Maybe not next year or the year after, but one day we will get Gunther versus Jacob Fatu, and the world will rejoice.
That match is 100% happening, and it's going to be.
This match starts at a 5 for me. Like,
yeah,
Ryan,
I'm ready for that. That's going to be beautiful.
$6.99 Canadian. Appreciate it. Gunther needs to destroy Cody. Take the superhero shine off of him. Make people think him losing to KO is more plausible. Have someone for Cody to chase. Yeah, but what if Kevin Owens is beating Cody, bro?
I'm gonna give you guys. I'm gonna give you guys something, and trust in this 575 member live audience to not aggregate me. And if I do, then it is what it is. WWE, if they see that and get mad at me, then I don't know. Fuck it, I don't care anymore. Who cares?
Wrestling's cool too.
Wrestling, yeah, who gives a fuck? Triple H a couple weeks ago actively said the following out loud in Gorilla: "Nobody is beating Gunther." That was a quote from Paul Levesque 2 weeks ago, like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Beast.
Yeah.
Beast.
Will Chisholm.
Yeah, Will Chisholm, $5. Undertaker asking Julia and Stephanie who they're voting for is going to be wild. Who's Mercedes voting for? You don't want to know. Undertaker asking Stephanie. I'm sorry. Next, let's go to the next.
I think we know.
Yeah, let's go to the next super chat. We're picking up the pace now anyway.
Yeah,
and that's assault on $5. The business isn't driven by a desire to create an experiment with art. Agree. It's mostly profit driven. It's why things like the Saudi deal is nasty. Agree, brother.
Do you think Tony Khan wants
to business?
Yeah, it is. Do you think Tony Khan wants to have another TV show with hours of TV to you know what I mean? Do you think artistically AEW needs that many hours of TV or WWE needs that many hours of TV? Of course not. But you get paid by the hour from these TV networks, so I think it's going to do what they got to do.
Well, man.
Yeah, you get paid so much money by the hour. So of course,
AEW's statistically wise, and I guess just real life wise, AEW's popularity has been decreasing over the past 18 months, 2 years or something. It's they've just got given 185 million a year for Dynamite and Collision, not even Rampage, bro. And obviously simulcasting on Max and stuff like that. But there's just so much money in these TV deals for like the live content and sports at the moment because everything else TV was just fucking fell off, and it's just I don't know. As Ibu said, it's
I used to be able to see Caleb Braxton and Samantha Irvin on my television shows, and I just won't be able to anymore. Isn't that really tragic? Like that's really unfortunate.
I mean, I guess
it's so sad, you know.
I mean,
Nick Khan's gonna.
I'm not the person to ask about it.
Right. Nick Khan's gonna find a blonde white woman from like ESPN to like replace.
Bro, Lillian Garcia's doing full time apparently. That's what Kermit said it on Reddit and worked WRKD Wrestling. He's reporting it as well now. So it seems like Lillian Garcia is actually like coming back. So.
Lillian, why did you tell him yes? What are you doing, Lillian? What the fuck?
Making a bag. Come on.
Probably.
Lillian is a beast.
She probably looked
like her.
She pulled their pockets up and was like, "Yeah, shit, babe, I'm gonna go travel the world again." It's just like, all right.
Black Yakuza 94 $5. It even makes a point because part of the reason ECW and WCW went under is that WWE started doing what they were doing, so people went there instead.
Yes.
Well, I mean, at the same time, bro, WCW fucking hung themselves. You know, WCW hung themselves. Heyman ended up in WWE anyway. So it's like
the funniest thing about Heyman was he switched before ECW officially died. What a
yeah, exactly, bro. Like,
the talent, the way they describe it is they're like, "Yo, are we gonna die or what?" And Heyman's like, "I'll let you know." And then they tune on Raw, and it's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new commentator here on WWF Raw," and he's like, "You might have seen me from ECW. I'm Paul Heyman." You're like, "What the fuck? What the fuck is this shit?"
Yo, he was a nasty guy, bro.
That nigga said, "Yo, I gotta kill this dude. I'm sorry, folks. I gotta kill this dude."
Arca is 777,499. You can see that the homogenization in any profit-driven art form. See movies and video games. Everyone wants to do what number one does, and it comes off as cheap.
It's so sad. It's just so sad. Can we just make?
And I guess that was like it was one of the biggest things that people were complaining a lot about AEW as well. That they were saying like, oh, it feels like AEW is just trying to copy WWE. They're not doing what made them special and unique and made people tune in the beginning. And that for me, I thought that was very much the case. It didn't feel like I was watching a Dynamite. Sometimes it just felt like I was watching like a random SmackDown with a different roster. But now I'm glad that they realized that's not working. And they're trying to take like a different path, you know, because if I wanted to watch WWE is good. I could watch it, but I don't want to.
In a perfect situation, you have companies that are specializing in what they do well. And if the people like that, they can watch that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't need to fucking get that type of thing from this place and this place and this place. I don't need that shit, you know. Wolves of House $4.99. There are companies doing their own style that the media doesn't discuss much. TJPW, CMLL, DDT come to mind as uncompromisingly unique. So I'll say this. They are more distinct than the average wrestling promotion. TJPW, I was just talking, Monty, to someone yesterday. I'll say what I was talking to Michael Sidgwick of What Culture, right? And I was talking about how like I felt the Bucks when I first saw them were very jarring and I didn't like them. And we both came to the conclusion that that's a good thing. I feel like if you watch someone in a non-mainstream setting and you have certain sensibilities that were conditioned upon you from what you've consumed and someone just kind of disrupts that, that means that they're doing it differently. And whether that's good or bad, it's different. You can say it's different. If you're seeing how someone is approaching wrestling, like, oh, that's kind of weird. That's like wrong. That's good. Because then you're going to create a new niche. With TJPW, I remember when I first like...
If it has an audience.
If it has an audience. But I remember when I first discovered TJPW through like some video essays and stuff, I remember thinking like, this is different, you know, like it's different. And I remember I learned about like the Maki Ito story. I see Anna, you know, kind of, but still, I get it, but still, it's different, you know, and there's people that really like it. And that's good. You know, TJPW, you're good in my book because you do it your way and people like it. And if I had the fucking power of hellfire and I burnt down the industry, I would spare you. So TJPW can continue to exist.
Well,
and that's just...
I was gonna say, you know, that you can be different and still have like good wrestling. They have good matches, but I would say like overall,
Yeah, it's not all going to be good. That's
I'm
one of the
yeah.
point that
You know,
he's making, and that's the sort of
Yeah.
they
$5.
don't ever miss out. You know, it's like, you know.
Bookers and fans are so stuck within the bubble of inspiration and the longevity for. Bookers and fans are so stuck within the bubble of inspiration that the longevity for the genre suffers.
The problem is they're drawing inspiration from like the last 20 years of the market leader. Why don't you draw inspiration from something that isn't wrestling? You know, like why don't you like
Star Wars.
look? Court Bauer sucks, right? But like I thought it was kind of neat that like he was like, what if I just presented like wrestling like MMA, you know? And he did that thing where he was doing weight classes and shit, and like the tail of the tapes, and like the presentation of his big matches was very like UFC-ish, and like that's kind of neat. You know, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Eh.
Hush $5. How much can we blame bookers, especially in this political climate versus scarcity of good/great wrestlers out there? Anyone with potential is getting to it. Bro, 100%. I'll put more book blame on the bookers, bro. Like even if you haven't got like an array of talent like the elite on the indies and fucking Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and stuff, that's not an excuse to do this completely uninspired like booking and just approach that all these bookers have in the industry now. Like even if like you can still bro, you know. And like the idea would be that like they're being let down by not having the talent there, but you know the idea and the kind of broad idea of the promotion and the image that they're trying to establish and you know the style they're trying to get over is still evident even if the talent's quite not there, and that's not the case. So
Not to pull a Manny, but I'm going to talk to the chat real quick. Adam, can you elaborate here? Because Adam says, Dragon Master Adam says, yo, Ibu, I think Fightful stole your AEW contract scoop. What are you talking about here?
well, we just go to Patreon, but you don't have to.
If
they talk to the chat, you can just.
If they outscoop me, I just quit today. Like this is just like fuck all of this, you know. Like just like wait a minute.
Well, there's nothing new on the Patreon.
Did Sean tease an upcoming
Sean? He was just gonna blurt it out in like. Shane McMahon's on with AEW.
You managed to like coming up soon to Fightful Select report on this, an update on the contract. I'm like, fuck that. I'm like, this guy signed.
Yeah, Sean's not tweeted anything.
Nah, Adam says it's Ricky. Man, no, it's not Ricky Starks. Don't worry about that.
What's it? No, but what's Adam talking about?
They did report on Ricky in the morning.
Oh, in the morning. Oh, so
yeah.
Bro, come on, man. Look, this why you don't talk to the chat, Ibu.
Well, I love the.
You know what I'm saying? You're getting us thrown off for some bullshit that got reported this morning. Like, anyway.
Not Monty.
Going back to the super chat. Going back to the super chat.
That's the last $5 one. And then
yeah,
now
I just wanted to say something. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're good at it.
Okay.
What?
I wanted to say something about the super chat. That is in the end, it's like anyone with talent is getting taken. I also feel like a lot of people are getting taken too early. So because before in the indies, like what would happen in the industry, like a lot of people, they had time, they would stay in the industry for years and like develop and craft, you know, and learn a lot and like travel around. And when they would get to the big companies, they would already be good, like great, you know, like excellent wrestlers. But now it's happening that they see someone with an ounce of talent and they snatch them up. And okay, yeah, it's good. They're in like a big environment. They have trainers and stuff, but it's very different from getting the actual experience of going around and wrestling in different places, you know? So I do feel like that's also why maybe we're not breeding wrestlers who are that great anymore in a lot of senses, but you know.
Hell yeah. I love that this show is just everybody like kind of cranky. Just like, I don't know. It feels.
I'm trying to get through these super chats, bro. Like, I need you to like lock in with me, especially now on these $2 ones. We got to speed through them, bro. I don't want to do a whole show of just super chats. You know what I'm saying? We got to talk about Buddy Ray and Raj. Fucking
some real grabs.
Like, we say we're gonna do shit, then just get caught up in super chats because we spend so long on them. I was thinking, $2. Would H have left if Vince didn't step down in 2022? That's what Kevin Nash said earlier. Darren Walker, £2, appreciate it. Any views on CMLL shows at the weekend? Ibu, did you see any of them?
I only saw the clips of Tony Storm entering, but shout out to La Catalina.
Kale says NXT sucks. $20, 20 pesos. Ibu, you've obliterated my Twitter notifications. Mute the tweet then, bro. Mazfan 84 199. Ibu, will Trump show up in WWE before the election? I doubt it. Rory Hayes 199. Beautiful super chat. Didn't even say anything. Beautiful. That's how I like them. Just send me money. Crazy 101 199. Percentage chance Samantha Irving goes to AEW / Big L for the Fed.
She's not going. She's not going.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean.
But it's a big L.
Already. Ricochet could just simply be lying, you know. But
sure.
Vernacular 199. Hate Saudi pay-per-views. Feels like unforced side quest.
Unfocused. Yeah. Sure.
Unfocused.
Yep, 100%.
My bad. Big
exist.
Fat Orange Cat 199. Any of you ever watched All Japan Women's Wrestling? Yeah,
I should watch more.
Yes.
I've seen a little. I've seen a little bit. I've seen a lot of the big stuff, but
they have a lot of matches on YouTube. Like,
yeah.
A lot of matches on YouTube.
Push $2. It'd be Wings or Undertaker Trump podcast. Give me the wings, bro.
Yeah, come on. Wings are good.
Corey David, $2. Does Buddy have enough pull to make Rhea jump?
Absolutely not. And she's staying in WWE.
No.
Absolutely.
No.
I love Bud Matt as well. Anyone who's been following us for a while knows that I love Bud Matt, bro. But come on, man.
Respectfully, I know more about AEW creative right now than Buddy does. So it is what it is.
Alien Love 199. Justify Rhea, Tiff, Liv, Nia push over Bianca and Io.
You cannot.
Like merch
Rhea, all of these people, there is a world where all of them can be pushed at the same time. You know,
sure. You don't have to compare.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like you don't have to be like, oh wow, you know, these people shouldn't be getting what they're getting, because a lot of the women that you named, like Liv is having the best year of her career, Nia's having the best run of her career, Rhea is fucking the most popular woman in wrestling, and Tiffany's like clearly next up. So it's like you don't have to sacrifice them, you know.
This is how the U.S. government gets minorities to fight with each other. Black Yakuza $2. Ricochet might have more aura than we remember. He has an extremely attractive fiance, and he's really athletic. I don't know if he has aura, but he has pulled off some incredible things. He has pulled off some incredible things.
Too bold.
Mazfan 84 199. Does Mox expand his group? Who joins any women? Ibu's already touched on that, brother.
Yeah, thank you, Mazfan. We love you. Alan Love 199. Do you think Monet will evolve her presentation? It depends what you mean by evolve. She wants to have good matches again, and she's really harsh on herself. She's very, very hard on herself. And if anybody that thinks that she has a mid match, she will tell you herself, if you thought it was mid, she thought it sucked. She has a very high standard for herself. She wants to have good matches again. She's been having a good last 2 matches on TV. So hopefully the Statlander thing is awesome. Thank you, Alan.
This
and
should be
awesome. $2. Samantha's gone, so am I. I hate bald.
I agree.
And that's $2. Sami Zayn forever. Callaway can cry forever. I agree.
Sure.
Crazy 101 199. BCC destroying Rampage show to make Shockwave.
Yeah, I think the last scene of Rampage should be them destroying like just the entire area.
Matt Hennessy, €2.49. Appreciate it. Glad Motor City Machine Guns and Sharon got their flowers last week. Yeah, they did, man. That was cool.
They raised me.
Berkey 199. More Black Planet leaving. Hashtag Newtson.
I'm crying.
Oh, man. Corey David, $2. 4-time Lash legend. Her progress, it took a minute to get there. You know, it took a minute to get there, but I feel like we've got there now where she's, you know, she's an asset. She's a real asset now, you know.
There's some internal,
a lot of potential.
There's some internal hashtag theorization. This isn't like a report. This is just people in the company that I spoke to. But there's some internal theorization that Hunter felt bad about a lot of the ragging that was coming on him about like not giving Black people opportunities, and that he responded by going like, let's see what Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson got. But irrespective of that, I'm a fan of Lash, and I think she has a lot of charisma, and if she figures it out in the ring, she'll be a star.
Kale NXT says NXT sucks 20 pesos. Make America orange again. No,
I don't know what that means. Thank you, Kale.
Corey David, $2. Nobody got Triple H back like Lillian Garcia full time.
It's insane. Like she just now let me not make that joke. Thank you. Anjan, $2. So where was Cody on January 6th asking for a friend? I don't know.
Come on, bro. We're doing John 6 jokes with Cody. Come on. Hush $2. Ray Jr. have the same sentiment as Dom.
I don't know. I know Chavo definitely does not.
Oh.
Chavo's a beast. Ryan $2.79 Canadian. Papa H has to dream of Statlander ever being free. Yeah, you probably would love Statlander.
This is not me. This is just him. If you go to Chavo's Twitter feed, to summarize Chavo's feed for the last week, it's basically just Vicky Guerrero and Donald Trump should die.
Beast.
Corey David $2. Maple Leaf Pro X AEW is basically AEW X TNA. Speed's ball to AEW ?
I don't know. I can tell you that Speedball's deal. I was told that it expires in December.
There you go. Ryan $2.79. Marigold is the most innovative, smaller promotion.
You guys want to shit on the Hatman, but you know.
Yeah, Rossi's a good booker, bro.
He is a good booker.
He just is, you know.
It's like,
What's
he's
up,
a
people?
horrible person. Yeah, most people in wrestling are. But yeah, nothing I can do about that.
Yeah, Ross is yeah. Marigold, obviously Marigold is like they need more star power, but in terms of like conceptually what they're trying to do and some of the people they're trying to push and stuff like that, like I've already just said, Ross is a good promoter, bro.
Yeah, Utami still doesn't feel like she has like fully her aura back, and now Julia just left. They have Saray, but she's not like Saray, but she's not, you know, she's a freelancer. She's the champion, but she's not there. Like, you know, it doesn't feel like her promotion or anything like that. So I just think they definitely need more star power. But with Stardom, it kind of was the same thing. They started like with wrestlers who they trained them, and then they got good. Like Mayu, she grew in Stardom and stuff like that. So I feel like they're really pushing the new talent, and the new talent is really good as well. So I feel like in a couple of years, 3 years, Marigold's going to be really, really good. But
yeah, Corey David, $2. Ibu having his T-Pain do something else front. He was R30 777 199. Death of TNA. Pete was the death of wrestling. Well, you know. The Wonderwall Lopez €2. Appreciate it. Anyway, who's excited for the C2 next month? Should be good, depending on what the lineup is.
I'm really excited to see like, the lineup. Yeah.
Lil DJ Boy asks $2. Any Copeland return tour? Not that I've heard. Ibu?
He's getting close.
Andreas Chapa 199. I wonder how Hangman fits into the overall angle.
He won't.
I don't think he should.
Jumanji Hunter $2. Stop talking over Anna Monty. I'm trying to get through these fucking super chats, bro. Fucking hell. Otherwise, I just won't read them. How about that? Yosei $2. They hate on Sukiban. Remember, they hated on. Oh, come on.
I'll tell you what. Sukiban is a money laundering scheme, but at least it was different. You know, they try to broadcast.
Sukiban is not good.
No, it's dog shit. But like, hey, they broadcast it on TikTok. That is different.
Yeah, I guess. To the point he was making earlier on. Sway $2. Jada Parker should join Marigold for a month or two. I mean, okay. SMG $5. Is Darby winning at World's End set in stone? Mark's going through guys like OC, Will Swerve, and then loses to Darby. I feel is a better build overall.
Listen, Darby's the end goal or end game. The set end date for it is not set. Actually, it there's no guarantee that it's going to be at World's End.
Margie loves $4.99. The way Monet gets picked apart definitely has to do with the same sexism and racism too.
Yes, absolutely.
100%. 100%.
Like
she gets judged very hardly, and we know why. But yeah, sorry.
Zarvison $9.99. After 7 months of Okada in AEW, I can safely say that I think he would have fit in WWE TV perfectly. Have a blessed week, y'all.
Thank you, Zarvison.
Matt Hennessy, brother, appreciate you very much. €59.99. Big supporter, big fan of him as well.
What's that in the US dollars, Montel? What are we looking at here?
Euros are pretty strong against the dollar, bro. So don't it's a good one. Matt Hennessy, $59.99. I just want everything to be good. I'm glad WWE is hot. I want AEW to be hot like it was in 2021. Same. I think what more hurts the industry is we don't have a big number 3 to compete with WWE and AEW. Both companies have bloated rosters and people get signed early. I mean, ideally, I think that like the number 3 would be like the indie scene. Do you know what I mean? Like it wouldn't be like one promotion like TNA. It would be like, you know, ROH, West Coast Pro, WPW, like all the indie promotions, you know, where you can get different things from, you know. But yeah, obviously we want AEW to be hot as well because we're all fans of both companies. Well, Anna's not really a fan of WWE, but you know, we're all fans of AEW.
You all love CM
I
Punk.
watch the pay-per-views, and I like when the pay-per-views have good matches for me to watch.
Yes.
And there's a lot of wrestlers that I generally love in WWE, so I do hope like the best for everyone. But yeah, I would love to have like a strong indie scene. I miss that a lot. It's just a different vibe when you can just, you know, tune in like a random show. There's 100 people in the audience and they're just giving 5-star matches. Just something else.
It's not going to happen, Anna, because the indies are polluted with like
I
fucking
know.
vape shop workers, you know, popping each other and doing mean shit,
I
you know, and it's just like
vape shop.
like it's just oh no, man.
Yeah.
I
have a nephew 13 and he's like, never, we're not gonna do this. Anyway,
we've got like 15 minutes.
All right, cool.
About the weekend.
So here's the deal. Here's the deal, folks. How's my sound, by the way?
It's okay.
Okay. Jey Uso came on SmackDown and basically told the Bloodline to suck his dick. I thought it was pretty cool. And I like Jey again. So that's the official WrestlePurists Worldwide stamp. Jey is hashtag good again.
Fair assessment from me, Luke. He's changed his mind.
Yes, Jey Uso is hashtag good again. He told Jacob Fatu to get out of his face before he knocks his ass out. So we'll see if Jacob stands on business on that one. So that was your big takeaway from SmackDown. The Motor City Machine Guns made their debut, which wasn't much of a match, but their real big test is going to be this week at Barclays Center when they face DIY. I am tempted to buy tickets to that show because it's in Brooklyn. My brother is asking me to. I don't
go, bro. If little bro is asking you.
Here's a problem. I don't do the whole paying for wrestling shows thing anymore. You know, I don't do that. You know, so
okay.
If WWE wants to give me tickets,
a couple AEW shows, he thinks he's nice, bro. Like this WWE, bro. It's a bit different.
You know, if Nick Khan
two dynamites, like
if Nick Khan wants to hit me up and be like, "Hi, I'm Nick Khan. Here's some VIP seating," I'm like, "All right, let's watch some SmackDown." But I'm not gonna pay fucking
ask Punk or something like,
you know, or Punk's camp allegedly hashtag. Anyway, so I'm not gonna. Hey Phil, can I get a SmackDown ticket? I'm not even on that show, dude. But nah, listen, I'm not gonna pay fucking $150 a ticket to raise my one up.
That's not how much it is.
I don't know how much the shit is.
That, bro? That's not how much the WWE TV.
Plus, could you man like one of those drones trying to like kill me at the show? Like that's back of Hangman. It's like, but yeah, SmackDown was fine. The Machine Guns are facing DIY this week. That'll be really, really cool. Shout out to Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley. I'm a big fan. Are you a big fan, Anna?
Yeah, shout out to Alex Shelley, especially.
You're fine. Monty, are you a fan of? Are you?
I'm a Motor City Machine Girl. Always have been. Yes, I'm really happy for them. And I mean that they're getting the bag, of course. You know, I have my opinions, but I want to see them have good matches, and they do have good tag teams in WWE. So.
Someone in the chat said, "Ibu, you know you want to do the whoa." I would not do that. Like in the arena, I'm not fucking. Do niggas think I'm a hoe? Like, do people think I'm a hoe, bro?
Yeah, bro. Yes, you would.
I would be there with my blown up.
There was I remember you went to an AEW show, bro, and you came to us and you was talking to us before the podcast, and you was like, "I gotta be honest with you, as I did join in with," and it weren't something outright. It weren't like Judas, but it was something criminal. You get me?
Was it the Acclaimed or some shit? Like
it might have been the Acclaimed, you know. Like it was something criminal, bro. Like, so don't come on the podcast now talking about you too much of a big man to hit
I'm
a
surrounded
wall,
by fat dudes just going, "Oh, scissor me, daddy." I'm like, "All right, fuck it. Oh, scissor me, daddy." Anyways, yeah, SmackDown was cool. Monty, I'm sure you're locked in on Jey Uso tonight. He's gonna get it put in his stomach by the Bloodline. So, condolences to him. Collision was on Saturday. It was Collision and Battle of the Belts, and your big headline here is that Jon Moxley crashed the show and beat the shit out of a bunch of losers again. They retained it was the BCC. It was Pac, Claudio, and Utah. They retained against Top Flight, and they also retained against their trios belts against the Dark Order. What happened basically is Mox crashed the show and said, "Fuck that, we're defending these belts again." So that was pretty amusing and pretty sick. Ricochet, he defeated AR Fox in a very well received match, and he made it clear he's going for Konosuke Takeshita. And so more on that later. And Chris Statlander cut a babyface live promo, and she's coming after Camille. So interesting stuff there on Collision and Battle of the Belts. Okada faced Kyle O'Reilly, and he retained his championship. Mariah May lost to Anna Jay in the main event of Battle of the Belts. Do you guys have anything to say about this 3-hour AEW broadcast?
BBC.
Say that again.
I just said that BBC is beast. That's like
they are. I've already said what I said. What I said earlier. She said BCC, didn't she?
No, she didn't.
I did.
Oh, no, that's getting clipped, bro. That's getting clipped.
To excellence.
You're fucked. You are fucked. It's over. You might as well be so this has been the last episode of WrestlePurists Worldwide with Anna.
Do not clip this guy's please.
Yo, Monty, you know who Colin Coward is?
It's 2 a.m. It's 2 a.m. I've been up since 8. Let me live.
Colin Coward is a sportscaster. And he was talking to Joy Taylor, his co-host, and he meant to say 2 cities, and he was like, "It's the thing. It's 2 titties and 2 cities."
That is fucking crazy, bro.
All right, so here's the deal. Not speedball. Now I'm fucked. Let's just throw the fucking format on. Bully Ray came out and said, "Do you know who I am?" And he cut a really long fucking promo. It was really bad. It was really long. He starts like harassing Sam Laterna. She's just kind of like, what is this? And he's making her announce him and shit. And this is taking like 90 fucking minutes. And it's all to get some heat. And the fans aren't even booing that much. And Jinder comes out to be the good guy. And then they wrestle and it fucking sucks. And he's interrupting it to try to fuck with Sam Laterna some more, the announce woman. And they're just kind of doing that whole thing. And this match is really bad. And at some point, like, Bully Ray gets his legs split open, like he's about to get like his pussy eaten. And then at that point, the referee, like Jinder's like, "What's that?" And then the referee's like, "What's that?" And he's just like, I gotta say, perfect time to say this now. Ever since I was a kid, I never understood that move. Like you know, like why? Like what's going on there? You know what I mean? But anyways, the referee eats Bully Ray's box, and then they do this table thing, and there's like a ref bump, and then like the table breaks, but the ref wakes up, and apparently Bully Ray is on top of Jinder, and so even though he didn't put Jinder to a table, he won the match. And the post-match, they're beating up on Jinder, and then the music cue hits like a minute early, so Bully Ray is like, "Oh shit, what's going on?" A guy comes out. I don't even remember his fucking name. I'm sorry. Was it Bhupinder Gajar? I think that's who it was. If it's not, I apologize. But that's
happened. Kind of like the point of like why it was fucking insane as well. Like, you know, it's like they do this angle after this awful match, bro, and they get in the heat on, and this dude's music hits, and nobody knows who the fuck it is, bro, and it takes him forever to get out there, and then he gets out there, and it's like, I don't know, bro. It's like this Indian guy, but I've personally, I'm not sure if I don't think I'll recognize him from anywhere. You know, it's not like he's this known guy who used to be in WWE or AEW or something. It's like it's just some dude, you get me? And the crowd just silently watch him make this save, and it's fucking insanity, bro.
Yeah, Anna, this is
He's
your
just
match,
like holding
right?
a chair. Oh my fucking god, this match. Sorry, my brain is still a bit broken, guys. Please don't clip that.
It's over, Anna. It is what it is.
Yeah, you could.
It is what it is, Anna.
So just retire or something.
I wish the video's gonna catch the part where I go, huh? Like at the beginning, because you said it one time, and I was like, huh? What?
I didn't.
You're like, yes, that's the thing. And BBC is just so beast, and it's just like, and I'm like, I was like, huh? Like, what did you think of the match, Anna? Did you like the match, Anna?
It was a match beast, Anna.
It was a match beast, Anna.
Well, there was no BBC, so unfortunately it couldn't be. But you know, the pre-match it already started so bad. Like that promo backstage, what was that? You know, just Bully Ray going up to the camera and being like, "I'm the mother trucking tables master." Like, what?
Do you know who I am?
Do you know who I am?
Mother trucking tables, master. Like, what is he talking about? And then when he goes to the ring, is like, yeah, how many Hall of Fames am I in? And then she's like, a lot. Okay, so say all of them. And then she says 2. And I'm like, okay.
And he'd cut her off and be like, say I am this, and she'd just be like, okay, and then she'd say it, and the crowd doesn't boo anymore. It's like, what are we doing here? You know?
It was so bad. And then when he started like Jinder Raj, like he started coming in, and then the music is just like not, but you cannot hear the announcer, you cannot hear anything. The whole thing is a mess. And he comes in, they do whatever is that. Like, I don't think Bully Ray did like a single move. He took the one table bump. I think his contract's like, okay, I'm gonna take one bump the whole match, and that's all. For like 8 minutes, he didn't do shit in that ring. He went through the table, the whole thing. With the referee jumping on him, and then he's screaming, my balls. It's like,
my balls my balls. It's like, all right, dude, cool.
What was that? Like, and then the post match was just so confusing. They played the song once, and then they looked confused, and then nothing happened. Then they played the song again, and then comes out a guy that I've never seen in my life. He's holding a chair. Of course, Bully Ray probably in his contract's like, yeah, I'm not taking that shit. So he just holds the chair, and then Bully Ray just casually, very calmly gets off the ring, stands there, and the guy's just there with the chair, like.
Can I get something off my chest? You know, outside of when Jinder faced Seth in January, which was ridiculous, and Seth fucking like blew his knee out trying to like carry him, which that was very unfortunate, and that was very annoying, and fans were really, really annoying about that. Like, fans are doing that whole fucking don't enter Jinder, he'll that's
became like a AEW WWE.
Yeah, that was bad.
Well, because of like the Tony tweets and stuff.
Right. Take that out. I've come to realize this, Anna. I love Jinder. He has brought my life so much ironic enjoyment. In 2017, Monty, SmackDown went from being a good show to a fucking horrendous show. And I had a group of friends on Facebook, and we would watch WWE TV every week. And we all knew SmackDown was fucking awful. But for whatever reason, Jinder just brought us so much joy. One of the individuals I'm talking about is in this live chat watching this podcast. And I don't know what it was. We would just watch Jinder, and he would just do his bullshit and come out as the Maharaja and have this awful feud with Randy Orton. And it just made us all happy, you know. And fast forward now to 2024, Raj Desi is working Bully Ray in the middle of a pay-per-view. And don't let people trick you. The liberals will tell you that the big headline of this show was Speedball Mike Bailey versus Takeshita. Like, yeah, cool. They had a 4.25 star match. Like, yeah, you know. But this abject level of shit that we got here, this is what brings the community together. You know, just recapping and having this therapy session about what the fuck we just watched. Look at Anna. She looks disheveled. She looks like Catwoman in like the second Batman movie from like 1991, where it's just like she's just seen some shit. You know what I mean? Like, this is what it's all about. You know, like, this is what it's all about. I love you, Jinder. Rosh Desi, if you're watching them, please don't retire. Please just continue to just load up on steroids and wrestle these podcasters on indie shows. Get paid and do your fucking thing. Monty, how did you feel about this?
Yeah,
Bro, like I said, it was just fucking bizarre, bro. From the first promo where we've already done the impressions of Bully Ray, but all of it, bro, like I said earlier, man, like the Bully Ray cuts his fucking shitty promo, which is bizarre. Like it's the way he paces it, and the way he delivers it. It's fucking bizarre, bro. And then he walks out all slow and shit, like he's fucking Roman Reigns or something. It's fucking crazy. Like, they're not even reacting to him like that. Then he has his awful match with Raj, which we've already gone over, and the angle, which was just bizarre at the end. I just don't know, man. what do you want from me, bro?
Monty, the kids have clipped me. I'm already checking Twitter, and I open up the app, and I get this.
Bully Ray gets his legs split open like he's about to get like his pussy.
I don't know.
Yes, clip that part, guys.
Moving on.
That's not fair. Mike Bailey Speedball. This was fucking awesome. I missed more Ronaldo. I don't care what the dorks say. He's fun. He moves me in these types of matches. He's really, really cool. I don't care. Cry. Speedball Mike Bailey.
Takeshita, yeah, He's fucking amazing. Speedball is amazing. Takashi is amazing. I think it was one of the best matches I've seen this year. It was definitely one of my favorites of this year, which I did not expect after watching Bully Ray and Raj. I watched that match. I was like, yeah, I don't think I can do this anymore. Wrestling is not for me. Like, I'm done. And then I watched the main event. I was like, I'm back. Like, this is real wrestling. Some real graphs right there. Fucking amazing match. It's worth like going out of your way to watch it. 100%.
If I had a time machine, Mike Bailey feels like the perfect guy that Paul Heyman would have brought into the ECW arena.
Oh yeah.
Bailey would have came into the ECW arena, and then the crowd would have made fun of him because of his look, and they would have chanted like "You look stupid" or something, and like been like potentially racist if he said he was Canadian or whatever the fuck. And then like he'd have a match with Tajiri that would be like so blow away great that they would cheer for him and afterwards. Like that's the type of guy he would have been. Mike Bailey's so talented. I wish him nothing but the best. Mike,
I was gonna say I love Mike Bailey, but I hate seeing feet in my wrestling. So it's always like such a confusing feeling when I'm watching him wrestle because I'm like, yeah, this is beast, but every time I see the feet, I'm like, put some shoes, grow up. I love him, great guy.
Absolutely. That match is great. On the second night, he had a match, Takeshi that is, with Josh Alexander that wasn't quite as great, but God bless everybody involved. And what's it called? We had a post-match angle where Josh Alexander gets beat up and then Ricochet comes out and he runs off Takeshita because he's coming after him, of course. And then the two bald men handshake, and that's the end of your Make Believe Pro weekend. So listen, man, for all the things I said about them being Canadian TNA, which it looks like they're going to be, at the end of the day, people seem to be happy with the show, and the people in the arena were happy, and Moro's cool. And yeah, man, everybody's doing their thing, and everyone seems to be happy. So God bless everybody in Canada. And I don't know. Good for Takeshita for being a great wrestler. Ricochet, congratulations on having a hot wife. I don't know. Do we have anything left on Worldwide? Do we have any super chats? Like, what's going on here?
We got a couple of super chats.
Oh no, wait! I got like scoops and shit.
I was gonna say we got a couple of super chats. We've recapped the weekend, and you've got some scoops. So.
All right, I'll do the announcement and then we'll save the scoops, since that's what these freeloaders are really here for. You guys don't really love me. You like my information. You don't really like me for me. But
all right, bro.
Like.
All right, bro. Get to it.
I did like the sitcom woman like closing up the fucking the nightgown. You just want to have sex. But all right, folks, here's your big announcement. My favorite pay-per-view of all time is One Night Stand 2005. I'm a big believer of reunions restoring the feeling, as they say. And this Thursday, folks, you are getting a special WrestlePurists podcast. We will review Dynamite, but it's going to be in a very chaotic way because it's not your ordinary Dynamite review. I will be hosting it. And not only will I be back hosting it for my first Dynamite review in a long time, but it's going to be me. It's going to be Rob. It's going to be Marcus. And it's going to be Monty. Give me a drum roll, Monty. Oh, come on. That's such a weak drum roll. So
what do you want me to do? Fucking get my drum kit out. What the fuck, man? Fucking tapping on my laptop at fucking 1 a.m. for you to do some dumb beat, bro. Get to your fucking announcement, man. Fuck yeah.
Anyways, it's going to be me, Rob, Marcus, and the one and only Big AO. We're going to be back. It is Hang Conda in the fucking building. One night stand, one night only, 1 week only. This Thursday on the WrestlePurists channel, we'll be talking about Dynamite. And as you know, in the Hanger verse, in any Hangman hosted show, anything can happen. Anybody can walk through. Anybody can appear. And I'm popping my eyes out like I'm Paul Heyman. I'm going to let you guys do the math. I'm going to let you guys do the guessing. We'll have plenty of guests. We're taking this bitch over. Absolutely. And guess what? We might have a musical performance. There will be plenty of scoops. We're going to have plenty of cameos and guest appearances, like I just said. Maybe some people from AEW. So stay tuned. We might have a guest appearance we might have a Sandman entrance, Monty. You might hear that Enter Sandman play. And what do you know?
Imagine if we could get Sandman.
Sandman himself would be fucking amazing. You know what? Do you guys want Sabu on this podcast? I might. You're right. He comes in and he's just kind of like, "Yo, man, I'm enjoying the show with all these niggers here." And it's like, "Whoa, what?" Nah, listen. I'll toss him $15 and see if he wants to do it for the bit. But listen, Thursday, Hang Conda is in the building. Dynamite review. Ibu, Ao, Rob, Marcus. maybe a certain extra person. I won't spoil it for the entrance. And again, some guests, some scoops, some music, some dancing. Rob is going to do like a little twerk thing in the middle of the show. It'll be fun. Stay tuned for that. It's going to be the biggest show of the year. Monty, with that said, let's go to the super chats. And then I'll give you guys your AEW news at the end of this thing.
Broadway Joe, $5, jumped in at Buddy Ray getting his box 8. Anyway, Chris Sabin in WWE. What matches y'all want that we'll never get because it's WWE?
Huh?
Chris Sabin, dream matches for WWE.
Singles matches are
him and Andrade would be awesome, but that won't happen.
That's exactly what he was asking for. So there you go. Anwar Starwin, $5. Anna and Ibu's antics are top notch. Listen, I'm the one who has to put up with them, bro. You know?
No, I made a human mistake. Was a human error. Okay, English is not my first language.
No, you can't do that now.
Do not put me in the same box as this man right there. Okay, that talks about Bully Ray's pussy being eaten. Do not do this to me. We are not the same.
Oh yeah.
Ibu, read the super chat.
Colin Teets. Hi. I'll be at I thought this was gonna be like a threat at some point. Like,
no. I'm just doing something.
I was like, what the I thought the dude was like, I'm gonna see you, nigga. And I'm like, excuse me? Hi, I'll be at AEW on 10:30. Anything cool planned? 10:30, that is next week. Yeah, you're getting fucking Swerving Benjamin, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Possibly Bobby.
Sure.
To say Rhodes, $1.99. Nosebleed for SmackDown is $80. Apparently.
Yeah, listen, if WWE wants to
if WWE wants to
give me, if they want to give me tickets, I'll do it, you
know. Broke Boy Man. When is AEW heading to Detroit? We're starving, Papa.
Oh, I don't know.
Anna's the Sultan $2. I love WrestlePurists. I'm so sorry, Anna. She's a bad person.
What? Excuse me? That's racist.
She comes on here, talks all this smut, you know, this filth. She comes on here talking filth, and she tries to blame it on the fact that English isn't her first language, which I think is exploiting the audience.
You know what? The next time I say something crazy on air or publicly, I'm going to use that because technically English isn't my first language.
What? How is that comparable, Ibu?
Listen, I'm gonna just say, hey, bro, I am a French and Wolof speaker. I don't know English.
Little DJ boy acts $2.
Do you guys have something against what I said, though?
Anyways, little DJ boy acts, what does OTC Mox look like? Who goes over? It'll be fucking awesome and great. And Anna's not gonna
Mox
get me.
Should murder OTC. Oh no, OTC. I thought it was OC.
Yeah.
No. OTC. That would look beast. But
y'all saw how Anna tried to cross me over. I don't get crossed over on air. That doesn't happen. That don't happen to me. No. Thank you for the super chat. Can we please get to the next one?
Yeah, it's the last one now, I think. Sway $2. Ibu, Julian Weeks talking shit. Stand on business.
What did Julian
talking shit? Probably wasn't even like someone tweeted in because I saw this in the chat, so I had a quick look at it. And someone tweeted at him because he must have quote tweeted like the Raw ticket sales or something like, Raw's doing great or something, because someone tweeted him like, but apparently WWE doing good, bad for the business, and he just quote tweeted it and was like, nah, because it's because their favorite promotion isn't doing well. It's not like he was tweeting like, fuck Ibu or anything, or replying to him or anything like that. It was just kind of his take, I guess, on the discourse that Ibu started earlier.
Yeah, he's a pretty lame account. So here's the deal, folks. Here's your scoops. One of them isn't a scoop news tidbit. I spoke to AEW and they really wanted to make this known very, very strongly. So this is from them. This is what they decided to say on record. This is the boring information. I'll get you the good one. Here's the boring shit that no one really actually cares about. So AEW heard my report last week about what producers do what in AEW in terms of producing and putting together the stuff. And they wanted to make it very clear that alongside these producers is typically Tony Khan working in conjunction with these people. I thought that was implicitly understood, and I hope everybody already knows that. But they just wanted people to know for sure that Tony is final say on everything that makes TV. Which again, I've always mentioned and made sure people know. Tony is final say on everything that makes AEW TV, regardless of who produces what. So that's your first thing. The other kind of boring note. Last week I made a mention of how AEW did not publicly disclose who was Jimmy Jacobs' replacement, but that he was replaced internally. The on-record answer that they gave me now is that Tony Khan's replacement for Jimmy Jacobs is Tony Khan. So there you go. Tony has just tripled his workload and taken Jimmy Jacobs' job. That is their
everyone was jumping up and down, being like, RJ City, Will Washington.
Tony said, fuck that.
Fuck that.
Yeah. So there you go.
You want AEW needs more me.
Yeah, right. All right. I got some fun little news for you guys. Chris Jericho, his contract is expiring next year. And I'm not saying
let's freaking go.
We're not done. It is expiring in under a year. It'll expire next year. It won't be a full year from now. And that is your news to close this show. There at the moment, there is no injury time attached to Chris Jericho. That is your scoop. That we will leave.
I know they're gonna renew it, but there's like the hope, There's hope. Like
this is
please.
Oh, the chat is killing me. Oh man, I love you all. Was that the last super chat?
Yeah, we haven't had any new ones, boss.
This was also my last episode ever of
anything.
Changing
a name.
I will disappear from the internet from now on.
This was a glorious show. I don't really know what was achieved, but I had a lot of fun and it was very chaotic. And I don't know why we passed 600 live viewers, but WrestlePurists is getting hot again. So I'll take it. I'll appreciate that, and I thank everybody for being a part of this operation. Monty, thank you for paying me, and Anna, thank you for existing and being my crazy buddy. See,
I gotta start following through on these phones that you're supposed to get as well. I'm way too lenient, I'll tell you, but
it's not fun when I'm the only batshit insane one. So Anna also being fucking out of her mind is it just makes it perfect. It just makes it all make sense. So, folks, this is WrestlePurists Worldwide. And if you thought this was fun and this was nutty, tomorrow's the Raw review. And you know what that means. If you've watched the Raw review, you know what that means. It means we're not going to review Raw and we're going to be fucking insane for 2 hours. So who knows what happens. Last week, MJF showed up and just cursed out Adam Cole for some reason. So stay tuned and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe on your way out. Drop us a comment, etc., blah, blah, blah. Peace.
Do not clip that.